Proper handcuffing techniques. There is a right and a wrong way to do it. I'm going to share something with you that I learned during one of my very first use of force classes at police college almost 25 years ago. And it's by far one of the best tips that I've learned and I've followed my entire policing career. Now, why am I making this video anyways? Who cares? Because somebody in law enforcement who carries handcuffs, they said that they were never taught this. I interact with police all over North America and with social media all over the world now. And we talk about training and procedures, and this came up. And it came up because there's no shortage of videos on the internet where you can watch police having a difficult time trying to handcuff somebody, okay? It's not going very well from the very beginning. And something just as important as being able to put handcuffs on safely and effectively is being able to take them off safely and effectively. People get hurt, seriously hurt. Nothing looks worse than, you got some police officer, they're fumbling around with their handcuffs while they got somebody under arrest, while they're advising somebody they're under arrest. Okay, sir. Okay, ma'am. Put your hands behind your back, and they're looking for where the keyholes is or which way, the handcuffs swing. Listen, while I was at police college, a story one of the staff sergeants instructors shared with us was he was a big guy, okay? He could handle himself well, but the only time that he got hurt where he was hospitalized for a few days and he was off the road for a couple months is because he let his guard down. And he let his guard down when he was dealing with somebody, with a female who was probably 100 pounds, and he didn't take this seriously. And it had to do with handcuffing or taking the handcuffs off. And I'm going to share that with you. But that was the only time that this staff sergeant, big guy, was actually taken off the road because he let his guard down because he wasn't following these techniques. And listen, it's not a slight to him. He shared with us because we're all making mistakes along the way and we share these. I'm sure you've seen somebody get handcuffed at some point of your life, maybe in a movie or TV show. They tell a suspect to turn around, put their hands behind their back, and the person may struggle for a bit for dramatic effect, but they slap the cuffs on. They did a great job. Cops did their job. They got the bad guy, move on. But that's not real life, where people are wound up, they're not listening to you, they're resisting, actively resisting, maybe in the middle of a fight, there's a struggle. The struggle is real, literally. There could be lots of people around, they're moving, a true dynamic situation. I don't want to waste your time, okay? Let's get right into this. But I need to show you properly, and I need to put something on first. Okay, now it's going to make sense to you. I have the vest on, and I have one pouch on the vest, which is the handcuff pouch. And microphone's in the way here, but you know where I'm going with this. I don't even have to look. I reach down, I open up the handcuff pouch, and I know exactly which side they swing. I know what side the key's on, which is facing me, and I can easily put these on somebody. You can slap them on somebody's wrist. You're not messing around. You're not trying to find which way they swing, and then when you go to uncuff somebody, you don't even know where the key is. I'm going to get into that in a minute. No, it's the same thing every single time. They go into your pouch, always facing the same way. You don't even have to look. Again, it becomes like second nature to you. And when it's going down, you can get them out quickly, easy. You don't even have to look, and you put the cuffs on them. I was going to use my lightsabers here, just to kind of click them in, but these things are very, very special to me, and they're quite difficult to come by, but I got a whole collection of them. Handcuffs, double lock. Once you put them on, I can take the key. There's a little button that you press and double lock them. So basically right now, these things aren't going to get any tighter. And it's a good thing to do because if somebody's in the back seat, you don't want the handcuffs to automatically get tighter on somebody. So they have a double lock. Also, when you're taking the handcuffs off somebody, if you handcuff somebody to the rear, the key's facing out. But when you take the cuffs off somebody, the keys are also facing out. So you don't have to use the key to get in between you and the handcuffs where you can't see. You can see where the key is. You advise a person, widen your stance. You don't say spread your legs. You say widen your stance. People get mad about that. Anyways, you also say lean forward. Somebody lean forward, widen your stance, they lean forward. You can get access to the keys. You can take the cuffs off. And why is that important? There's been incidents, I haven't seen it myself, but I know that this has happened, where you always have to be in control of the handcuffs, okay? When you go to uncuff somebody, you got to make sure that you put this back in, because it does happen where people are struggling when you have one handcuff on them, or you're taking a handcuff off and they have a loose handcuff like that, and they're only cuffed in one arm. And what happens? They get loose. Now, basically, they're swinging an arm around and you got this. And it's kind of disturbing to think about, but you basically have a hook that's swinging around. It's a bad situation. So you always got to regain control. Another thing is, and I can't get into this, I just wanted to share that one tip about, always keeping them in your vest in the same way. That's basically the only tip I was going to get into. But in terms of, when you go to police college, they're talking about handcuffing and safe practices. You got to be careful as well. Just because somebody's leaning over and their hands are behind their back, they could lift their leg up, they could kick you, they could do all kinds of different things. I mentioned the story earlier about the staff sergeant who was injured. That's how he was injured. He was kicked while handcuffing. So anyways, it's just something really, really kind of simple. And for some reason, I was very, very shocked that somebody was not taught this. I'm not going above, anybody's heads here. Everybody that I know in police college or teaches at police college or use of force instructors, they're great, they're professional, they teach all these things. And this is just kind of something cool that the public likes to know these things. I made a video just a couple weeks ago talking about the militarization of police, because that's a term that you hear often, the militarization of the police. And I think that's a ridiculous term, usually in the context that it's used. Why is a uniform changed? Militarization of the police. What does that even mean? I'm going to link the video at the end. Please check it out. Let me know what you think. And again, folks, thank you for watching this. If there's something you would like me to cover in the future, please let me know. A lightsaber, a weapon of a more civilized age. I think that's how it goes. Have a great day, folks. Take care of yourself. Stay safe, stay sharp, stay Canadian.